In our reading from the Old Testament this evening, God reveals himself to Moses as slow to anger, rich in kindness and mercy. Thus, quite different than the caricature that is often presented of God in the Old Testament as somehow being ever angry and judgmental and a terrible taskmaster. How is this love demonstrated most convincingly? It's found in the gospel message, in which St. John the Evangelist reminds us that God would so love this fallen world so much that rather than condemn it as it may very well deserve to be, God would instead send his only Son to save it. So we see that God is not an individual person, but rather a family of sorts, which besides the Father and the Son also includes the Holy Spirit, who has been revealed and sent by the Father and the Son to be the divine presence always active in the world. So three persons, one God. Now there is an old adage that two is company, but three is a crowd. And that might well be true for some particular human relationships. But in divine relationship, three is not a crowd, it's a perfectly comprised community of distinct persons, equal in majesty, bound by love, who are at the center and the source of everything that is and ever will be. So this divine community is the source of all love and life, and ultimately responsible for the creation of the human race, whether that be proven to have occurred as a spontaneous creation or as the result of a gradual evolution. God is the source of human existence. Indeed, as the crown of all God's creation, the human being is rightly said to be created in the image and likeness of God. Yet that certainly doesn't mean that we should all strive to look like white-haired grandfathers or brown-bearded sons, or to be experienced as a powerful force, strong as the wind and intense as fire. Rather, it means that we have been created by a divine community for life in a community of love. Thus, we are most whom we are created to be when we are connected with others in a loving relationship and cooperate with them on equal footing to generate life and to work together for all that supports and protects life as the great gift of God, whose essence is love. So a clear reflection of God's image is in that special community created by marriage and completed by children. But it's also seen in communities of love formed not by blood alone, but also by friendship and by faith. And so this parish, the Diocese of Fall River, the Universal Church, are called to be such communities as we lovingly cooperate together for the greater good of us all, and that of many others even beyond us as well. If we are truly of God, we must be a clear image of the interdependence and the cooperation of the Holy Trinity. Thus, on a very practical rather than theological level, the extreme rugged individualism which now comes to dominate the spirit of our contemporary culture is obviously not a godly trend at all, nor is competition that becomes vicious rivalry, or contention, conflict, and division, as common as these may be within, among, and between individuals and groups in our world today, because they are actually quite opposite to the love, to the unity that is the life of our triune God. Thus, those who fail to promote an interdependence based in love, characterized by equality, harmony, and unity, but who foment discord or division based on hatred of others because of differences, instead may ultimately prove themselves quite unfit for life in the eternal abode of God. So today, as we honor this feast of the Holy Trinity, let us not simply view the divine nature as a theological mystery to be worshipped, but rather as a perfect community of life and love that is meant to be imitated in our own human relationships and communities. And as we engage in that effort most sincerely, let our great hope be that of having even a foretaste of heaven now on earth, as we anticipate the perfect peace, the permanent joy that will be life with the Trinitarian God, who is love forever.